The Action Line on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna. Listen and watch at WGNSradio.com.
And now on this segment of the show, we are joined by MTSU's Dr. Kim Cleary Sadler, Professor of Biology, and we're going to be talking about the 48th Annual Elsie Quarterman Cedar Glade Wildflower Festival. That is coming up right around the corner, literally April 30th through May 3rd. Dr. Sadler, tell us a little bit more about that, and how many years have you been involved in it?
I have been involved with, through the Department of Biology. Since 1989, I was in the Department of Biology. I'm currently faculty emerita, which means, as my little sister said, right, you get to work for free now. But you know what? I love it. And so the Center for Cedar Glade Studies was established in 2005. And we've been partnering with the State Park Cedars of Lebanon since that time. And we've named the event after Dr. Elsie Quarterman because she was key in identifying this ecological system. A lot of us have lived here our whole life and never even knew that this ecosystem existed in our backyard. And so what am I talking about? Well, I'm talking about the limestone outcroppings that we see. So the flat rocks. Those of you that are new to the area, maybe you've planned on a lot of extensive landscaping, and you realize that you can't dig a hole deep enough to plant your bushes. Yeah. And that's because that is the geology of this area.
A lot of limestone, a lot of rock in general.
This was all underwater at least 2 different times. We know 2 shallow seas. So this limestone is made up of the bodies of, the shelled organisms that once made that shallow sea.
And that's the cool thing about this area. You can find tons of fossils, for one.
You can. And what's really interesting, so how do we know it was shallow? Well, the reason is because there's nothing big. So we're not finding any huge marine fossils, but lots of shells and things like that. And of course, the shells, they preserve quite readily as well. And the thing is about cedar glades, it's so interesting, is that for many years people thought, well, you can't grow anything on them, so they would use them for grazing, for their animals, and unfortunately for trash. With the limestone,
many years ago.
Well, I guess in some places because they're flat, they're easy to get to. And with the limestone rock dissolves quite easily through the action of water. And, so we've got a lot of sinkholes in this area because of that as well. But
when you talk about the Cedar Glades, the unique thing about it, and I know you mentioned that, is the fact that you've got all this rock, but yet you have these cedar trees that are growing all over that area of Cedars of Lebanon, for example.
Yeah, it's crazy. The naming is really crazy because, well, for example, cedars, they're not true cedars. They're junipers. That would be a botanical fine point that probably most people don't care about.
That's interesting.
But at any rate, cedars are there because they can be, and they're able to survive in really severe environments. But the story of the Cedar Glades, it's not really about the cedars, it's about the glade, the clearing, because what's found in the clearing are these really rare and beautiful, unique plants. And that's how the story comes back to Dr. Elsie Quarterman, because she studied glades in the late 40s, early 50s as part of her dissertation, and figured out, what? These are wonderful, and that these plants don't occur anywhere else in the world. And so these plants are, rare, they're unique, and they're interesting.
I know at the state level, lawmakers even, this was a few years back, what do they deem this area? Because it's protected now.
It is, and so it would be these plants are protected on any national and state properties. And if you all have watched the good news of seeing how many lately these state natural areas have opened up in the state of Tennessee, and really I think everyone who lives in this state should know that our state park system, it's award winning. I mean, we really have wonderful conservation efforts in this state in that regard. Kind of bringing the story back to to the Glades, we have many of these natural areas that, they don't necessarily have to be very large. For example, just here in Rutherford County, we have a little 1 acre natural area that protects a very rare plant called the running glade clover. And we'd like for people to come to this Elsie Quarterman Cedar Glade celebration and learn some more about these plants and also about this area that we live in.
It's pretty neat. And you've got a calendar of events laid out and everything. So if somebody listening would like to see some of these different exhibits, or I don't know how to word it, but if they would like to see some of these areas and everything to learn more about it, then this event coming up would be the perfect thing to participate in.
It really would be, and there'll be experts there, people that you'll get up close and personal with that can kind of talk you through the system. We've got Milo Pine coming, who discovered a plant, Pine's ground plum, in the late 80s, and there's probably more out there. And Holly Taylor, she's an associate state naturalist for Region 4. We've got Todd Crabtree, he's an alum of MTSU. He is the state botanist. And get this, you guys, he's going to be doing a botany by bike. So doesn't that sound like fun? So you're going to get a workout as well as get to spend some time with Todd. And then he'll also be leading a hike in the afternoon as well. So we've got the former state geologist, Ron Zarowski, who has since retired, but he's doing two hikes on fossils. We've got Matt Niemiller, who is also former MTSU alum, who's now a professor at the University of Alabama, Huntsville. He's a cave biologist, doing 2 different hikes with us, and it's just going to be a wonderful day. We've got Dr. Jeff Walk and Melissa Turntine doing a bird hike early in the morning, and it's a big day on Saturday, but we have some other things going on as well. On Thursday, we decided, it's cool. All this natural history is wonderful, but let's talk about art, because art's so important aesthetically to our lives, and just to maturing our brain and give us some peace and release stress. So we've got a workshop by Dr. Aaron Anfinson, who is taking natural inks and dyes and showing us how to use these artistically. And just a little aside, the Declaration of Independence was written with oak gall ink, and that ink is still vibrant today on that document. So guess what we're going to be working with? Oak gall ink and many other different substances as well.
That is interesting.
I know, it's wonderful. And then we also have, and I need to add that this workshop on Thursday, April 30th, is being co-sponsored by the Tennessee Native Plant Society. So Aaron is a member of that. And we also have Mary Priestley, who coordinates the herbarium at Swanee. She's a botanical artist, teaching us how to journal in nature and how to think about the environment and how to take your thoughts and actually record them. And so we're excited about that. So that's sort of a whole day of thinking about art in the park.
And this 48th year of this event, it kind of takes in a lot of ways, multiple counties. I mean, like Rutherford County, Wilson County, Davidson County as well. And I think, am I missing any of the counties that are part of this?
That's probably really the heart of glades, would be within those counties. But there are other glades, in southern Kentucky, and then, in some northern Alabama. We do have glades, but really the concentrated location of those glades are those counties.
And how can people learn more to be a part of this? Because I guess we have a minute left. How can people be a part of this?
So if you are interested or excited about any of these things that we've talked about, you've got 2 resources to go to sign up for any of these events. Go to State Park, Cedars of Lebanon, go to their events page, and you'll just see the full roster of events that are going on. If you would like a copy of the list that we've talked about, you can go to the Center for Cedar Glade Studies at MTSU, if you just Google that, and also you'll get a whole list of the events that take place there.
So all of this information readily available online, and I guess you could, if you don't remember the exact names there, just Google Cedars of Lebanon State Park, MTSU, things like that, and it'll take you to the right place.
That's correct.
And again, this is all coming up, and once more, starting April 30th, which is what is that, a Friday?
It's a Thursday.
It's a Thursday, okay.
Yeah.
So April 30th through May the 3rd. And once more, it's the 48th annual Elsie, Quarterman, Cedar Glade Wildflower Festival. And with us in studio, Dr. Kim Cleary Sadler, Professor of Biology at MTSU. And thank you for joining us this morning.
Oh, thank you for the invitation.
Once more, Google online, MTSU and Cedar Glade Wildflower, and that should pull it up, or Cedar Glade Wildflower Festival.